Hello friends, welcome to i-TUTOR NCERT series. Today we are going to discuss Class 12 Geography NCERT India People and Economy Chapter 2 Human Settlements. Human settlements means cluster or dwelling of any type or size where human beings live. Okay, so what is called a human settlement? It's a cluster of dwellings of any type or size where human beings live. For this purpose, people may erect houses and other structures and command some area or territory as their economic support base. Thus, the process of settlement inherently involves grouping of people and apportion of territory as their resource base. Settlements vary in size and type. They range from a hamlet to metropolitan cities. With size, the economic character and social structure of settlements changes and so do its ecology and technology. Settlements could be small and sparsely spaced. They may also be large and closely spaced. Okay, so the settlement may be small and spacely spaced, or maybe large and closely spaced. The sparsely located small settlements are called villages and specializing in agriculture or other primary activities. Okay, so the village economy, so the village settlements, that is small settlements, they are specializing in agriculture or other primary activities. On the other hand, there are fewer but larger settlements which are termed as urban settlements specializing in secondary and tertiary activities. The basic differences between rural and urban settlements. Okay, now look at this. First one, the rural settlements derive their life support or basic economic needs from land-based primary economic activities, whereas urban settlements depend on processing of raw materials and manufacturing of finished goods on the one hand and a variety of services on the other. Okay, so first one, the rural settlements derive their life support or basic economic needs from land-based primary economic activities, but urban settlements depend on processing of raw materials and manufacturing of finished goods and also a variety of services on the other hand. Cities act as nodes of economic growth, provide goods and services not only to urban dwellers but also to the people of the rural settlements in the hinterland in return for food and raw materials. And this functional relationship between the urban and the rural settlements take place through transport and communication network. Now, settlements are as follows. Rural and urban settlements differ in terms of social relationship, attitude, and outlook. Rural people are less mobile and therefore social relations among them are intimate. In urban areas, on the other hand, way of life is complex and fast and social relations are formal. Now, types of rural settlements. Types of the settlements are determined by the extent of built-up areas in inter-house distance. In India, compact or clustered village of a few hundred houses is a rather universal feature, particularly in the northern plains. However, there are several areas which have other forms of rural settlements. There are various factors and conditions responsible for having different types of rural settlements in India. These include physical features, nature of terrain, then altitude. First one, physical features, that is nature of terrain, altitude, climate and availability of water. Then cultural and ethnic factors, that is social structure, caste and religion. Now security factors, that is defense against the theft and robberies. Then rural settlements in India can broadly put into four types. First one, clustered, agglomerated or nucleated. Second one, semi-clustered or fragmented. Then hamleted, and finally dispersed or isolated. Now, clustered settlements. The clustered rural settlement is a compact or closely built up areas of houses. In this type of village, the general living area is distinct and separated from the surrounding farms, barns and pastures. The closely built up areas and its intervening streets present some recognizable patterns or geometric shape, such as rectangular, radial, linear, etc. Such settlements are generally found in fertile alluvial plains and in the northeastern states. Sometimes, people live in compact villages for security or defense reasons, such as in the Bundelkhand region of central India and in Nagaland. In Rajasthan, scarcity of water has necessitated compact settlement for maximum utilization for availability water resources. Next, semi-clustered settlements. Semi-clustered or fragmented settlements may result from tendency of clustering in the restricted area of dispersed settlements. Okay. More often, such a pattern may also result from segregation or fragmentation of a large compact village. In this case, one or more sections of the village society choose or is forced to live a little away from the main cluster or village. In such cases, generally, the land-owning and dominant community occupies the central part of the main village, whereas people of lower strata of the society and the menial workers, they settled on the outer flanks of the village. And such settlements are widespread in Gujarat plains and some parts of Rajasthan. Okay, so the semi-clustered settlements, they are widespread in the Gujarat plains and some parts of Rajasthan. Now, hamleted settlements. Sometimes, settlement is fragmented into several units physically separated from each other bearing a common name. These units are locally called Panna, Para, Palli, Nagla, Dhani, etc. in various parts of the country. Okay, so these are the local names of the settlements, hamleted settlements in various parts of the country. This segmentation of a large village is often motivated by social and ethnic factors. Such villages are more frequently found in the middle and the lower Ganga plain, Chhattisgarh and the lower valley of the Himalayas. Now, dispersed settlements. Dispersed or isolated settlement pattern in India appears in the form of isolated huts or hamlets of few huts in remote jungles or on small hills with farms or pastures on the slopes. Extreme dispersion of settlement is often caused by extremely fragmented nature of the terrain and the land resources base of habitable areas. Many areas of Meghalaya, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh and Kerala have these types of settlement. Okay, so they have a dispersed settlement. Next one is urban settlements. Unlike rural settlements, urban settlements are generally compact and larger in size. They are engaged in a variety of non-agriculture, economic and administrative functions. Okay, so the urban settlement have non-agriculture, then economic and administrative functions. Now, as mentioned earlier, cities are functionally linked to rural areas around them. Thus, exchange of goods and services is performed sometimes directly and sometimes through a series of market towns and cities. Thus, cities are connected directly as well as indirectly within the villages and also with each other. Now, evolution of towns in India. Towns flourished since prehistoric times in India. Even at the time of Indus Valley civilization, towns like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were in existence. The following periods has witnessed the evolution of towns. It continued with the periodic ups and downs until the arrival of Europeans in India in the 18th century. On the basis of their evolution in different periods, Indian towns may be classified as ancient towns, medieval towns and modern towns. Okay, so on the basis of evolution, the Indian towns can be classified as ancient, modern and medieval towns. Ancient, medieval and modern towns. Now, ancient towns. There are number of towns in India having historical background spanning over 2000 years. Most of them developed as religious and cultural centers. Okay, so these ancient towns are developed as religious and cultural centers. Varanasi is one of the important towns among them. Prayag in Allahabad, Padaliputra in Patna, Madurai are some of the other examples of ancient towns in the country. So these are some of the examples for the ancient towns in the country. Now, medieval towns. About 100 of the existing towns have their roots in the medieval period. Most of them developed as headquarters of principalities and kingdoms. These are 4 towns which came up on the ruins of ancient towns. Important among them are Delhi, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Agra and Nagpur. Now finally, modern towns. The British and other Europeans have developed a number of towns in India. Starting their foothold on coastal location, they first developed some trading ports such as Surat, Daman, Goa, Pondicherry, etc. The British later consolidated their hold around three principal nodes, that is Mumbai, the old Bombay, then Chennai, Madras, and Kolkata, that is in Calcutta, and built them in the British style, rapidly extending their domination either directly or through control over the princely states. They established their administrative centers, hill towns as summer resorts, and added new civil, administrative, and military areas to them. Town based on modern industries also evolved after 1850, and Jamshedpur can be cited as an example for these types of towns, that is modern towns. After independence, a large number of towns have been developed as administrative headquarters. Chandigarh, Bhubaneswar, Gandhinagar, Dispur, etc., and industrial centers such as Durgapur, Bhilai, Sindri, Barauni, etc. Some old towns also developed as satellite towns around the metropolitan cities such as Ghaziabad, Rohtak, Gurugram around Delhi. With increasing investment in rural areas, a large number of medium and small towns have developed all over the country. Now, urbanization in India. The level of urbanization is measured in terms of percentage of urban population to total population. So, the level of urbanization, that is measured in terms of percentage of urban population to the total population. The level of urbanization in India in 2011 was 31.16%, which is quite low in comparison to the developed countries. Total urban population has increased 11-fold during the 20th century. Enlargement of urban centers and the emergence of new towns have played a significant role in the growth of urban population and urbanization in the country. But the growth rate of urbanization has slowed down during last 2 decades. Now, functional classifications of towns. Apart from their roles as central or nodal places, many towns and cities performed specialized services. Some towns and cities specialized in certain functions, and they are known for some specific activities, products, or services. However, each town performs a number of functions. On the basis of dominant or specialized functions, Indian cities and towns can be broadly classified as follows. First one, administrative towns and cities. Towns supporting administrative headquarters of higher order are administrative towns such as Chandigarh, New Delhi, Bhopal, Shillong, Guwahati, Imphal, Srinagar, Gandhinagar, Jaipur, Chennai. So these are some of the examples for administrative towns. Now, industrial towns. Industries constitute prime motive force of these cities such as Mumbai, Salem, Coimbatore, Modinagar, Jamshedpur, Hooghly, Bhilai, etc. Next one is transport cities. They may be ports primarily engaged in export and import activities such as Kandla, Kochi, Kozhikode, Visakhapatnam, etc. or hubs of inland transport such as Agra, Dhaulia, Muhalsarai, Itarsi, Katni, etc. Now, commercial towns. Towns and cities specializing in trade and commerce are kept in this class. Example, Kolkata, Saharanpur, Satna, etc. Now, mining towns. These towns have developed in mineral-rich areas such as Raniganj, Jharia, Digboi, Ankaleshwar, Singrauli. Next one is garrison cantonment towns. These towns emerged as garrison towns such as Ambala, Jalandhar, Mhow, Babina, Udhampur. Next one is educational towns, starting as center of education. Example, Roorkee, Varanasi, Aligarh, Pilani, Allahabad. Next one is religious and cultural towns. Varanasi, Mathura, Amritsar, Madurai, then Puri, Ajmer, Pushkar, Tirupati, Kurukshetra, Haridwar, Ujjain. Next one is tourist towns. Nainital, Missouri, Shimla, Panchmari, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer, Udanga Mandalam, that is Ooty, Mount Abu are some of the tourist destinations. The cities are not static in their function. The functions change due to their dynamic nature. Even specialized cities, as they grow into metropolis, become multifunctional, wherein industry, business, administration, transport, etc. These become important in these cities. The functions get so intertwined that the city cannot be categorized in a particular functional class. Okay, so that's about the chapter. If you have any doubts, you can comment below. For more videos, do like, share, subscribe.